Hello guys, it's Sharon and welcome back to my channel. So today we are doing a mukbang with BTS's favorite American foods. And so these are all foods that BTS has said are their favorite foods in the US. First of all, we have
kimchi fried rice.
Steak.
No
Every
steak in
day
South
I
Korea?
steak.
I love noodle, Korean noodle.
In and out, of course.
Hamburger.
Panda Express. Panda Express.
Panda Express.
I love Panda Express. In Sprite.
Sprite. I like Sprite. Sprite. Sprite.
And Sprite.
And
피자 이번에
Sprite.
되게 충격.
I should have gotten a smaller plate for this, because, I don't know, does this not look sad to you? And this is from Outback Steakhouse, and so I ordered this 6-ounce steak, but it also comes with 2 sides, so I got sauteed mushrooms and mashed potatoes. So Jimin didn't specify what kind of Korean noodle he likes, so I just picked this up. It's called like spicy beef noodle soup. And so these two I both got from H Mart. I think we all know that V's love for Panda Express is pretty legendary. This hamburger is from Five Guys because here in Georgia we don't have In-N-Out, which I really do like In-N-Out. I've only had it a couple of times, but hopefully Five Guys is a good comparison. I don't know. And I got these side dishes when I ordered the noodle soup and the kimchi fried rice. And of course, J-Hope's love for Sprite. So I don't really watch mukbangs that often, so I don't actually know how to do them. I used to drink Sprite all the time because there's no caffeine in it, and so that was the only soda that my mom would let me drink because Coke has like a little bit of caffeine, I guess. Gotta admit that Sprite is not my favorite soda. I'm much more of like a Dr. Pepper Coke person. Like just clear sodas in general, I don't really like them that much. You guys don't know how long it took me to go to all of these places and get all of this food. And it wasn't that expensive, honestly. It was just really time consuming and kind of tiring, to be honest. All I ate today was a little bit of salad for lunch and 2 scoops of ice cream. So I'm pretty starving right now. I've never really been into Panda Express. Like whenever I go there, I usually get the black pepper chicken. But when I was doing research online about BTS's favorite foods, they never specifically said what they got at Panda Express. So I just picked like what was the most popular, and it seems like orange chicken is their most popular dish. Not bad. And probably what I'm most excited about is the Five Guys burger because it tastes really good with hot sauce. I think all of this food would be better fresh, but it's not fresh because I spent so much time driving to these different places getting the food, and then I napped after I came back because I was really tired. And then I took a shower and got ready to film this video. And so the food has been sitting here for a little bit. So I was wondering, when you do mukbangs, are you supposed to talk after you finish chewing, or do you chew and talk at the same time? Because in real life, this is real life. I mean, like, when I'm not in this kind of setting, when I'm out eating with someone or eating with someone at home, I usually prefer them to kind of like finish chewing the majority of their food before they talk to me. And here I am like in the middle of taking bites and talking to you. So I don't know. How do people do it? Okay. I'm gonna try the kimchi fried rice. Oh yeah, I have these gold utensils that I got from Target. They make me feel really special. They're so luxe. It's okay. This is not the best kimchi fried rice that I've ever had, but it's acceptable. Oh, and the reason I don't really watch mukbangs is because I get so jealous. Oh, no. I get so jealous of the good food that people are having in their videos. And so I don't know, I'd rather eat myself than watch someone else eat. This is really hard, you guys. Like, I don't know when to talk, and I don't know when to eat. First world problems, am I right? So I wrote a community post a few days ago asking for questions for a Q&A mukbang, and that's because I am not interesting enough to have memorable story times during this mukbang like other people are. Answering questions might give me something to talk about. I have the questions here on my phone. A lot of people have asked what my favorite BTS song is, and I think Serendipity is my favorite because I really like Jimin's voice in that, and it was my favorite part of the BTS Love Yourself concert. And I really like the dance to it, like it's so intense. One of my friends mentioned that they didn't really like the Serendipity dance because it doesn't match the song. I mean, I think it kind of I think it matches the song, but it more matches Jimin's dance style. Like the song matches his voice and the dance matches his dance style, if that makes any sense. I always feel like I have to wipe my mouth so that I'm not doing this whole video with like sauce on my lip. BTS as a group, I'd say my favorite song is probably Blood, Sweat and Tears or Spring Day. I really loved that era of theirs. Okay, next question. Favorite song from a K-pop girl group? I think it's EXID Up and Down, because I always listen to that song. Like whenever it comes on shuffle, I never skip past it. It's just such a bop. I mean, it's great. What are you currently doing in life, career, school, etc.? I'm all done with the whole school thing, and I'm working right now. So I am a mobile app designer, which means I design the look and feel and the user experience of mobile applications on smartphones. Start also asks, what are your goals for the future, channel related or even career/personal ones? So that's interesting because a couple of weeks ago I received an email from YouTube asking if I was interested in a personal one-on-one like channel checkup. So they would give me tips on how to improve my channel and how to make it grow. And so I signed up for that, but I didn't think that they would actually do anything about it. Like, I didn't think they would actually reach out to me. And so, yeah, a couple of days ago they did. So one of our conversation points was about like what are my goals for YouTube. And I told her that I really wanted to fill that niche. Like I know there are a lot of other musicians who do K-pop covers, but I feel like there's not a lot who do like tutorial type things. And I mean, it's one thing to be able to listen to music, like listen to covers and enjoy it, but I think it's another to be able to actually play it yourself. And so that was kind of like the hole in the YouTube community, like the YouTube K-pop music community that I wanted to fill. And I told her that I want to grow my channel a lot. I want to gain subscribers. I want to come out with some more viral videos, because viral videos really help as far as propelling my channel forward and giving me subscribers. So I want to create more of those. I'm trying to think of what else I said. Oh, that's right. I also said that I wanted to perform at like KCON or some other K-pop festival. That's kind of been like a goal of mine ever since I started my YouTube channel. I want to perform live somewhere. I have some level of performance anxiety. I think everyone does. But just to have that opportunity, that challenge, and then to be like well known enough where people invite you or people are interested in watching you, I think that would be like one of my greatest life accomplishments. Okay, I'm not really a steak person. I got it medium well, but since it's been sitting here for a while, it's kind of hard to cut. So I don't know if I already mentioned this, but the steak is from Outback Steakhouse. Never had a bad experience there. The food's pretty decent. It's pricey, of course, but I mean, it's steak. So I think I've tried everything now. And the thing that I like the least is the beef noodle soup. I don't know if it's just because it's been sitting here, but it's like the meat is really tough. Next question. Are there any non-K-pop artists you're into? And this is from Milfil. I've really been into Billie Eilish. Yeah, I've really been into her lately. And the other day I watched this video. I think it's by Vogue, but it like compares her interview from a year ago to her interview in present day. And so basically in the past year, she has blown up. I first heard about her from the 13 Reasons Why soundtrack. She had a song on the soundtrack, so I checked out the rest of her music, and I just really liked how chill her voice was and how mature the sound was. For that interview, you could really see the price of fame on a young girl, because I think she's really young. She's like 16 or 17 or something. And she just looked so worn out in her present day interview compared to her interview a year ago. And I felt really bad for her. I'm gonna link that video down below. It's really interesting to watch. But yeah, Billie Eilish, been listening to her a lot. I also think her music videos are really, really creative. And I also listen to classical music. Are you going to continue the Blackpink light stick covers? Of course! I'm just waiting for the weather to get a little bit warmer outside, because I have some ideas for things that I want to do, but they're outdoors. So since it's winter right now, it's way too cold to do anything. I love butter that's like this. Just super fluffy. Just makes life so much easier. So I was going with my friend to pick up all this food, and while we were at H Mart waiting for this food to come out, he went to go get the Sprite, and so he came back with this huge liter of Sprite, 2 liters, this huge bottle of Sprite. And I was like, I thought you were gonna pick up a small bottle. And he was like, no. And yeah. So we just ran with it. Candela Suck wants to know, at what age did you start playing the violin? I started when I was 10. I actually started piano when I was 5. And so having that piano background really helped me because I already knew how to read the notes and how music theory worked generally. So that like kind of speeded up my learning of the violin. Aurora Loves Pandas asks, do you like comics? If you do, then did you see Save Me? So I was actually on my Facebook and I saw this ad for the Save Me comic. And so I looked into it and I saw that it was like co-written or co-produced by Big Hit. The art looks really good, but I haven't read it. If you've read it, then let me know if it's worth reading. The fan should be turning off any second now, but yeah, as I was saying, I'm also interested in knowing if any of the BTS members had input on the comic, like if they had anything to do with the story, or if they were able to like read through part of it and be like, oh, this is something I would never do. Hyunsu asks, do you watch K-dramas / anime? If yes, recommend us your faves. First of all, I don't watch K-dramas at all. And I don't watch them because I feel like a lot of them are really sappy and they're kind of like the same. I mean, there's always somebody in the hospital. There's always somebody on the verge of death or an accident. There's always a love triangle. I mean, it's just not something that I've been interested in. But I mean, if there are some really good K-dramas that you think I'd enjoy, then let me know down in the comments. Anime. I do not watch as much as I used to. I used to be a huge anime fan. Basically, K-pop has kind of replaced my interest in anime. Like, whatever time I used to spend watching anime, I now spend watching K-pop videos or writing sheet music or recording videos. But the anime that I do really like are Samurai Champloo, Puella Magica, Lucky Star, Natsume Yujincho, Mira Nikki. Like, Mira Nikki I've seen like 5 times. It's also called Future Diary. I tend to like animes that are like really psychological in nature or comedies. I don't really like to watch too much romance. Kind of the same reason why I don't watch K-dramas is because I don't really like to watch romance that much. I don't know. I'm not caught up on current anime, but if you have any recommendations, let me know. I do have a friend that just like recently got into anime, and he's kind of been telling me some good animes to watch this season. So I started watching The Promised Neverland, and I forget the whole name, but like Kaguya is the name of it. Is like part of the name. These 2 student council members, the president and VP, and they actually secretly like each other, but they're so competitive with each other that they just keep challenging the other person to confess the love for them first. And it's really funny. Cikini _ Clown Starfish asks, do you love Charmony? So Charmony is a fan name, I guess, that Cikini Clown Starfish came up with for, I guess, my fans, which is kind of crazy to think about. I do really like the name. It's like Char and then like Charlie combined with harmonies. And I think that's like a beautiful fan group name, and I really like it. I just don't know if I'm like worthy enough to have a fan name. Going back to the Save Me webcomic, I recently started reading this other Korean webcomic called True Beauty, and it's about this girl who in middle school was really ugly. Like, she was bullied a lot for it. And so she decided that she didn't want to be bullied anymore. And so she watched a lot of tutorials and bought a lot of makeup and practiced her makeup skills all throughout winter break, so that when she came back to school, she was just drop dead gorgeous. Just like the art style and the vibrancy of it is just really, really good. The facial expressions that the author is able to draw is so legit. I feel like I relate to it on a very spiritual level because I think I'm kind of the same. Like, without makeup, I look not bad and not terribly ugly, but I mean, I don't look as good as I do look with makeup. So usually when I go to work, I don't really wear that much makeup. Like, I'll just do my brows and like a little bit of concealer, and that's pretty much it. And since I'm staring at the computer all day, I'm usually wearing my glasses. And there's this joke at work that the person that comes to work every day and the person that's in my YouTube videos are like two completely different people. I call my YouTube persona like my catfish persona, because if you see me in real life, first, I don't know, for some reason I just look different in real life than I do on camera. I mean, it's not just a makeup thing. I don't know what it is. If I'm dressed the way I am now, but if you saw me in person, you would know it was me. I just photograph so much more differently on camera than I look in person. Like, do any of you guys face that same issue where you look a certain way on camera, but then in person, you look completely different? By the way, True Beauty is free to watch on the internet. Just look up True Beauty webcomic, and I'll try to link it down below. It's like 25 chapters so far, but it's updated every week, I think. Some of these questions that you guys have asked me, I've actually answered before in my other Q&A video, like the first Q&A video that I ever did, so check that out. Kelly Victoria Tajan asks, if you want to learn any instruments, what instrument would you play? Any tips for beginners who are having a hard time learning the violin? So other instruments that I want to play, I really want to learn how to play bass guitar, because I think bass guitar is like the coolest part of a rock band. I like the sound of it, like it's so badass. You're like the spine of a band, I guess. Any tips for beginners who are having a hard time learning the violin? I think the biggest tip I can give is just to be patient, because violin is like the hardest instrument, in my opinion. Not that I've played all of the instruments in the world, but if you Google what is the hardest instrument, a lot of people will actually say violin. So the best thing you can do is just to be patient. Like, I've seen people who simply quit taking lessons because they feel like it's not necessarily that they're not talented, it's that their progress is too slow. Sometimes with violin, you have to take things slow. Like with certain things, you have to build it from a very rock steady foundation before you can speed things up, or before you can play at the level that you want to play at. I mean, patience is the greatest virtue for learning anything. Don't be disappointed if you don't get something right away. Just break it down into smaller pieces, practice it slowly, get outside help. Hopefully your teacher, if you have one, can help you break down the technique and break down the concept to you. But just be patient. Karita May asks, if you had the opportunity to go see the concert of any deceased artist, who would it be? That's a hard one. I think I would go back and see Paganini. So Paganini is a violinist that's known for mostly for his 24 caprices, and they're basically short pieces that are very, very technically difficult. A lot of people can play Paganini, but I'd be interested to see how he plays it. So I think that in general, I'd love to see composers play their own compositions. For example, George Gershwin, he wrote Rhapsody in Blue, and Rhapsody in Blue is one of my favorite pieces. There's a recording of him playing it himself. I would love to see that in person. I mean, not only George Gershwin, but like all the other composers that I like Ravel, Tchaikovsky, Chopin. Like, I just love to see them play their own pieces. Okay, so a lot of people have asked what got you interested in playing the violin. Well, it was in 5th grade of elementary school. I was at this, like, it's called an orchestra zoo or something, where you go to your school and they have a bunch of different instruments that you can try out. I tried out the flute because I had always wanted to play flute. Another great thing about the flute is how small it is, and it's very portable. And so I had always wanted to play the flute. The lady there that was giving us the instruments to try, and she said that my lips were too small to play the flute, which is really stupid. Like, back then I didn't realize that that was a completely like made up thing, but now I know that that is absolutely not a reason that you shouldn't play flute. So I gave up the flute, and then I tried out the viola, and so I really liked the sound of the viola and I wanted to pick that as my instrument. But then my mom was like, oh, you shouldn't pick viola, no one plays viola, you should play the violin. And so I ended up picking up the violin because I mean, I had taken like a couple of lessons in violin when I was younger, like when I was 7 or so. I actually did try the violin, but I didn't like it at all, so I stopped taking lessons. And then it wasn't until a few years later where I actually picked it up again and took it more seriously. Guys, I'm full. I know it doesn't look like I've eaten a lot, but I've eaten like little bits of each dish, and I have so much leftover food. I kind of feel bad because, I mean, this is so first world country. It's like, oh, look at all the food that I have. I have too much food. This is all gonna be leftovers that I'm gonna eat in the next week, and I don't know what to do about the Sprite. It's so hard to keep a bottle of this size of soda. So, yeah. One last question, and a couple of you have asked me this. It is, what is your favorite song from Blackpink? And I really like all of their songs equally. There isn't one that I really like over any of the others. You know, I feel like one song that a lot of people don't like that I do like is As If It's Your Last. It's really catchy, like all of their songs are, but the video is kind of more of like a pink that pops out at you. I don't know if that makes any sense. Like, I just feel like the style of that video is a little different from their other videos, and I like that. It's a little more extra, maybe. That concludes this mukbang Q&A. I want to say thank you so much for 30,000 subscribers. I mean, it's just still mind-boggling to me. I appreciate each and every one of you. I read every single comment. I tried to reply to the majority of them, I guess. If you take time out of your day to comment on my video when you didn't have to, the least I could do is answer back, right? I don't know, just know that I like really appreciate you guys coming to my premieres, commenting on my videos, leaving likes, sharing my videos with other people. I cannot cut the steak! I'm super introverted, so to have people like you who like send me DMs and comment and stuff really means a lot to me, because I'm not that social in real life. Like, I'm not that person that is always surrounded by friends or people. I'm more of a homebody, but I mean, that doesn't mean I don't get lonely. So thank you for being there for me and for watching my videos. I think I'm like really full now, so I'm gonna call this a successful dinner, even though the food was a little bit cold. And again, thank you so much for 30,000 subscribers. each and every one of you, no matter where you came from, whether it's my light stick video or my cover videos or my tutorials. I really appreciate it. Oh, and one thing I'm really excited about is that my Blackpink like light stick and violin cover video, I had submitted it to the Blackpink World Tour fan compilation video that they were doing. So it's like this video that they are showing at the world tour, and I'm guessing it's like between performances. Like it's one of those like videos that happens while the members of Blackpink are preparing and getting ready backstage. I was just notified today by Dorky Blackpink that my video, or a part of my video, was shown as part of that fan compilation. So like everyone in the Blackpink stadium is able to see that, and that is just so cool because I didn't think that they would even see my email, because there was this email that you're supposed to send it to, and so basically I had attached my video as a Google Drive link, and I was like, oh, I don't know if that's too much work for them to like follow that link and then watch the video from there. Like they'd have to probably download the video and then watch it. Like, I don't know, it's little things like that that kind of stop people from wanting to do something. Like if it's just too inconvenient to get to it, then it's really easy for someone to be like, that's too much work, I'm just gonna go to the next email with somebody that like has the video already attached to the email or whatever. So yeah, I was afraid that my video would get lost, but it didn't, so that's really cool. And no, they didn't send me an email or anything to tell me that they had accepted my submission, but it's okay. Thank you so much to Dorky Blackpink for filming the fan compilation video too. I will link that below or in this card thing. And yeah, that's it for this video. If you want to see more mukbangs, maybe I can do one with other people next time instead of by myself. Or if you like just watching me talk to the camera awkwardly, I can do more of this too. So just let me know. And good night, or good morning. For me, it's night. Bye!